can handle the truth.
Hey, Dave, you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay.
The signal you are receiving is coming from deep inside of FEMA Region 1, well within the battle lines of the municipal corporation known as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, radiating out to the darkest corners of Al Gore's internet from our secret broadcast bunker cleverly disguised as a middle-class living room. This is Red Pill Politics.
Well, howdy there, patriots and socialist distancers. Welcome to your weekly dose of Red Pill Politics. My name is Dave Kopaz, and I will be your opinionated and abrasive host for the next 2 hours. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. Happy Sunday, February 23rd already. One more week left of February, and then we'll be right into March. Spring's right around the corner, folks, and it couldn't get here soon enough. This is yet another year where, back this last fall, I was saying, man, I don't have a good feeling about this. Because I think when the bottom falls out, when all hell breaks loose, to the best of our knowledge, that's going to be in the winter months. For those of us up in the temperate zone, that's going to be absolutely miserable to survive and be able to get by. If you have a grid down situation, and you're going to be forced to go to a lot of people are going to intuitively run to the government for help, for food, because they can't feed themselves or keep themselves warm. I don't know, it seems like for the last 10 years, every year I say, oh, this is it. I don't feel good about this. And it's not without reason. But when is it going to happen? I don't know. But looks like we may have made it through another winter season, relatively unscathed. Can't really say we're unscathed. We're taking hits left and right. But, there's some good things on the horizon. We're going to try to be glass half full today. We're going to talk about a number of things that are, they're positive. There's no other way to look at it. Most of them are positive. We'll talk about some of the bad things that are going on too, but there is positive change beginning to take place, and it is our job to see that momentum continues, that momentum grows, that the outcome is true, that it is not a false victory or a hollow victory. We want small constitutional government. That's what we want. I personally don't quite care how we get there, as long as we have small constitutional government. Right? Our Constitution is not perfect. Never heard me say our Constitution was perfect. But what was laid out did give us the best chance as individuals to secure freedom and liberty. And that is kind of what it's about. When it all boils down, what is it about? It's about having the freedom and liberty to live your life. God blessed you with a life, and it is to be lived. All right, we're not supposed to sit on a shelf and just wait for government orders and bureaucrats to tell us what to do, what to like, how to speak, what to speak, when to speak, what to think, how to think. No. God gave us that innate freedom to live our lives. And gave us a rule book, too. We've got other rule books you see other than the Constitution. We've got the Bible as well. How to just be a good person in general. Because as we know, it requires a righteous people to keep our republic. Our government is wholly unfit for any other. So, I don't know. Anyways, welcome to the show. Happy Sunday. We're almost into March. In March, we're going to talk a lot about getting your garden plants going. All right, I'm going to nag the heck out of you folks. I want everybody to be growing something out there. And the callers, the people that call into the show, I'm going to be pressing you. All right, so when you call in, don't be surprised if I ask what you have planned for your victory garden this year. Hopefully you just volunteer that up, but I'm going to be pressing you. What have you done this week towards your garden this summer? We have a whole growing season ahead of us. You know, some people are going to have, you know, vast tracts of land, big pieces of land in which to grow on. Others are not. Some of the listeners are in urban situations. There's a couple times in my life, and one of them right now. I'm blessed to have you know, between our place here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and our super secret broadcast bunker up in the hills of New Hampshire, we've got two different scenarios. Kind of keeps the edge sharp for me. You know, I've got on one side, I've got ample land and area, space in which to grow all kinds of things. All right, standard row crops I can grow up in one area. I can walk 50 feet away into the woods where I've cut up a bunch of 2-inch slabs of oak, collected the sawdust, mixed into it mushroom spores, and I make little towers out just in the shady, sloped, deciduous, swampy areas. All I got to do is make sure a little bit of water's on there during the arid times in the summer, and boom, buckets and buckets of mushrooms. All right, I got space and I can do almost anything. And I got to think about what's the most efficient way to get the most amount of food in that situation. Back here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I'm in an urban area. All right, me and the homies out in the alley over here, you know, our yards are 20 feet wide. That's it. Our entire yard. So, I mean, go ahead, put a barbecue grill out there, maybe a picnic table and an umbrella, and see how quickly, you know, your 20-foot yard comes down to, you know, a very small space. You know, so what can be done in both situations? Like I mentioned last week, I think it's a really good idea, at the very least, even if you are in an urban setting and you don't have a lot of area, is to think about an herb garden for yourself, the most nutrient dense. All right, not corn. You're not growing corn. All right, tomatoes may not even, you know, you can get a lot of tomatoes from the right variety in the right settings, grown in containers. You can certainly do that. And that gives you stuff that you can eat currently. You can make sauces that can be frozen and so on and so forth. But what about those other things, those very nutrient-dense herbs and spices and things like that, that are specific to health conditions that you may have, or nutrient deficiencies that you're prone to developing? You know, so grow with that in mind. Think about the space you have and what's the most bang for your buck that you can get out of it. And we'll keep talking. We'll have different tips, just like we did last year, if you remember. We got to the point where pruning season. You know, you prune your vegetables in your vegetable garden too, right? Sure you do. Absolutely. You want to push the growing energy to where it's most productive at the right time of year. If you need more biomass, a bigger plant, you know, let that, feed it and let it grow and influence it to grow in that way. If you need better, stronger fruiting branches, be in there pruning. We'll talk about that. So, yeah, that's enough about gardens for now. There's still snow on the ground. It's absolutely nasty up here. Beautiful sunny day. Beautiful sunny day. But you walk out, you know, man, we got hit with snow and then slushy rain on top of it. Then it got frigid cold. And now it's just a frozen, nasty mess out there, slowly melting. But I hate this time of year when things get wet and slushy and then freeze. The plow guys hate it. People that have to shovel the sidewalks hate it because it's just miserable stuff to deal with, and that's what we currently got. But there'll be green pastures soon enough. All right, spring's right around the corner, folks. Let's move on. What are some of the things we're going to talk about today? My little hit list. Diddy, he's in some trouble, that boy. All right, these holiday weirdos and these elite pedophiles, man, they've gotten so comfortable. That there's so many people around them. They've corrupted so many people. It becomes a self-protecting system. We talked about this before, right? When you let these things go on, you know, the big guys corrupt the little guys, and no one likes to be exposed. So the entire web of corruption becomes a self-protecting system. But, you know, the odds are against them that they're going to be able to survive forever, that this comfort that they have with their perversions and that it'll be tolerated becomes misplaced and maladjusted, and something happens. Someone gets a little too foolish. Something bad occurs, and light is shed upon them. And because these are all scumbags and the filthiest, nasty creatures of them all, you know, there is no honor among thieves. What they will do, and we will see this, so be ready for it. You're going to see it in the Diddy pervert circles, and even we're hearing promises, another thing on my hit list, along with the Diddy's lawyer quitting. He said, there's absolutely no way I can possibly represent Diddy in any capacity. He's done. He's made it public. Diddy does not have a lawyer. I don't know what he's doing, what he's done, and what he's ordering his legal counsel to do. But his only lawyer just up and left. He's gone. What else we got? Promises of the Epstein file. We don't want to forget about that. We're not going to let them forget about that. All right, Kash Patel, he's been confirmed. All of the Trump people have been confirmed. Right, they're in, they're seated. They've all made it. Tulsi Gabbard, who I was surprised, I didn't think they were going to, her and RFK Jr., they made it in. Kash Patel made it in. We'll see what happens. So far, they're promising to release this stuff, and it should. We talked about this in the past. One of the benefits, politically, one of the benefits of this is all the time and money that's going to be saved. Think about this just for a moment. How much time and money is spent by your base? And when I say your base, I'm talking about your political base, your average Joe Republican, your average Joe Democrat, the ones that are working people. They care more about going to work, earning a living, supporting their family, you know, the politics stuff. They don't live and breathe and you know, are not consumed with politics. You know, politics is something that is secondary to them. But we got to get kind of going off track here, but we've got to get ourselves together and look at this more with different glasses. Stop being told how to look at things. That's what we got to do. Government tells us what to look at, when to look at, where to look at. We've just got to start taking raw information and deciphering it for ourselves. I mean, this is not difficult stuff. And if it is difficult and it is complex, don't just give up. Go out and find the answers to what you need. That's what we need to do. So, I don't know. Let me go through my hit list here, because we're going to have our phone lines open, too, as always. 512-248-8252 is a call-in number. Let's get that up there. So, yeah, Diddy lawyer, gone. He's quit. Maine, a bit of a shitstorm starting to develop up there, and I knew there would be. Susan Collins has been stinking the place up for a good long time. So there's some news, you know, both for Democrats and Republicans to be had up in Maine. You've got a governor who's a pretty demented person. All right, real sick, progressive. There's nothing Democrat right now. You can feel comfortable. I don't care whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or unenrolled. Doesn't matter. You can feel comfortable that if you go out there and oppose and dethrone and defeat a registered Democrat candidate at anything, you will be doing a good thing. The party in itself and its apparatus and the people they put forward are flawed, dangerous. All right, until the progressives have been fully identified, exposed, and purged from their party. And that's going to take their cooperation, too. The Democrats are going to have to say, the regular old classic liberals are going to say, whoa, you progressives, you're not us. Your progressives are not liberals. They're sick, deviant, globalist, America-hating, Constitution-hating monsters. All right? Anyone who calls themselves a progressive is unfit to serve, and you need to get them, purge them out, find them, expose them, and get them out. All right? The Democrat Party, the base, your old classic liberals, the normal people, the ones that just want to work and raise their families, that are not consumed with politics, you're going to actually have to be the adults in the room and come in and reform your own party. And the Republicans, the same way. The Republicans are, the whole political spectrum. It's all just shifted. It's all shifted. Both Democrats and Republican Party apparatus have all shifted to the left. And that's undeniable. And in Maine, good example, for the Republicans have Susan Collins, all right, U.S. Senator, who right from the get-go, Republicans, the base Republicans, not the establishment rhinos, of which she is, but the regular people, the regular small government conservative Republicans have been crying out for a long time. Susan Collins is an imposter. She's a fraud. She's a fake. She's a phony. All right. I don't care what label what you call yourself if you vote with progressive Democrats 70 to 80% of the time. You are one of them. She's an imposter to the Republican Party. And I've always said this. I don't care. Massachusetts is the same thing. Any of you blue states out there, if your Republican Party sitting there mush-mouthing how they're going to defeat the Democrats and how they're going to be the opposition to these horrible progressive policies, they're fooling themselves. Because if you can't get them out of your own party, you are not going to go up against the Democrats and do nothing. Nothing. All right, so get over yourselves. Stop listening to that. The base of both parties, I think, there's enough normal people left that if they become the adults in the room and just tap the brakes on these guys, all these establishment rhinos and neocons, the Elizabeth Cheneys, all right, Mitch McConnell, he's got to go. All right, all these guys, Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski from up in Alaska, these people, you can count on them as failures as a conservative. And your Democrats, your regular normal liberal Democrats, I mean, you can sit quietly by and let the progressives, right now they're in desperation. Yeah, your whole party's in free fall because of them. They're throwing Hail Marys all over the place, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on the insanity. And it's just blowing up and getting splatter all over you. Until you slap politically, metaphorically slap these progressive monsters into place. Get them off the stage. Get them off the microphone. All right? Tell the world Jasmine Crockett and Ilhan Omar do not represent you. All right? Just come out and say it, because I know I'm sick and tired of it here in Massachusetts. If you listen to my senator, all right, Elizabeth Warren, my constituents want this. We want green energy, and I do not. I absolutely do not. And most of the people I know and interact with, they do not want all of those things that my own senator says that we want. She is lying. She's bought and paid for. She's in the spotlight right now, money-wise. How in the hell do you get as rich as Elizabeth Warren unless you're corrupt? And I think DOGE has realized that. So, yeah, keep running your stinking pie hole, Liz. And attract attention to yourself. All right, we got to get rid of people like her. And it's going to come from some resistance. Got to come from within. You normal Democrats, your party's in free fall. It's imploding right now because of your apathy and allowing people like Elizabeth Warren to get up there and be your voice, to enrich herself through graft and corruption, to the point that she's no longer and hasn't been representing the people for a good long time. I don't know. So yeah, up in Maine, the governor got Trump's gained his attention and ire, and he pretty much told her flat out, right to her face, get rid of this gender cult crap, or your state will lose all federal funding. It happened at a perfect time where they got, and Trump's been signing these executive orders to get men out of women's sports. And I absolutely agree with this. I can't believe we had to go as far to the point where a president had to issue an executive order. You'd think common sense would rule the day. But cultural Marxism being what it is, and communists being as persistent as they are, and Americans being as sleepy and apathetic as they are, things just kind of marched on, and here we are. So, I don't know. Let's move along. Ukraine, kickbacks, and mineral rights. DOGE, and way before DOGE, even people like Matt Gaetz have been saying for a long time, you're going to find, if you follow the money, the revenue stream from the United States Congress, who has picked your pocket and sent it by the billions over to Zelensky in Ukraine. Zelensky's now saying, about half of it doesn't even show up here. I don't know what you're talking about with this X amount of millions and billions of dollars. There's only about half of it gets here. Where would the other half of those billions of dollars go? Well, they're kickbacks, and they're laundered back to the political establishment hacks that are running the show right now. That's where it goes. Yes, and again, just follow the money. This is a very old adage, and man, I tell you, it does work. It does work when you look and see how this money bounces around, how nonprofits use it. Look at the role, Catholic charities. Yes, remember, when your average sleepy American hears the word Catholic charity, they think probably all kinds of rosy, nice things. A big church helping people that are hungry or cold. Yes, that's what people intuitively would think is the, what you would envision these people busy doing. Not handing out maps to illegal aliens and trafficking them, literally trafficking them in violation of Title 8, Section 1324, into and throughout the United States. Hard at work in South America to violate the laws here in the United States where their money comes from. Unbelievable, but it's happening. So Ukraine, we're going to find out. There's some auditing finally beginning over here. This should be common sense, folks. Think about this. I'm against the foreign aid the way it is right now. I think the amount of aid that the United States gives throughout the world is criminal. Is criminal. We should, at this point right now, if I were Trump, I'd slam the checkbook closed. So we have got a horrible accounting problem here. Not another penny goes out. I'm sorry, world. All right, your allowance has been cut off, at least temporarily, until we get a hold of what's going on here. All right, and not another penny. All right, don't come crying, Zelensky. All right, from Ukraine, don't come. Oh, we need billions of dollars, and then shit talk us later. That's the pattern. Is Zelensky comes and if he doesn't get it all he wants. He's all happy and glad handing everybody while he's here. But the moment he gets out and the cameras are on him and he's elsewhere, all he does is crap talk the United States. The things that we don't give him. He's like a petulant child when you're trying to check out. All right, you parents out there trying to check out with your groceries, and there's your kid in the checkout aisle with all that candy all around, and they pitch a friggin' fit because you won't give them a bunch of candy. Yeah, so what Zelensky needs is his ass paddled and sent to his room, sent right back to Ukraine. Empty-handed. All right, without your candies and ho-hos. All right, this is baloney. And this is around the world, too. Israel sucks up a lot of money from the United States. The checkbook should be closed. If we can't fix things here, we should not be spending money elsewhere, and that's precisely what we're doing. It's disgusting. So that's another thing. Ukraine and what's going on there. New Hampshire, their first black sheriff has just pled guilty to a whole bunch of felonies. You know, these diversity hires come right in feeling the whole world owes them just because of the melanin in their skin. So yeah, first black sheriff is now pleading guilty to multiple felonies. The Pope's not doing good. And I had pneumonia there last week, double pneumonia. He's now, things are getting worse. We don't know what's going to happen there. But that's in the news. See, they're working on a deal with Ukraine, though, as far as mineral rights. That's something that I think it's about time the United States got on board with this. We're about the only nation that doesn't make its aid in the form of a loan or where we have some kind of skin in the game. So it's, you know, our butts aren't just out there hanging, you taxpayers. Crazy, crazy stuff. Energy Secretary funneled $600 billion into an organization she is now on the board of. Boy, this happens so often, especially between like big agribusiness and Monsanto and big pharma and whatnot. I go back and forth from being a board of director to being a congressman. Unbelievable. Well, anyways, those are some of the things we're going to talk about. Call-in numbers 512-248-8252. I want to welcome back into the streaming audience. For some reason, one of my 3 YouTube channels popped back into existence. And for those over there listening in YouTube world, welcome back. But we're going to be cutting you off here at the bottom of the hour. So if you want to keep listening to the show, you're going to have to go to republicbroadcasting.org, where there's a one-click player on every page of the site, so even Democrats can listen. Or you can catch the live stream over at my channel on Rumble. That's right. Go look Red Pill Politics up on Rumble, and you can participate in the text chat. We take some questions from there. Encourage you to interact. redpillpolitics.chattango.com. There's some volunteers from the station over there as well. So please do get involved in that type of stuff. We always appreciate you sharing sharing the show and sharing your ideas too. So yeah, let's make sure that we take enough time to talk about local solutions this week. All right. That's what we're going to drive home a little bit every week in ways that we can do that, and that includes this week's show. So stay with us. Got some break coming up here. It's Red Pill Politics. You listen to Republic Broadcasting Network. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do shadow hands run democracy? The edge of speaker alive, shrouded in secrets and mysteries. Bloodlines of history, they sit at the top, counting all the gold they have robbed common man. They put their puppets into place, then pull the strings. Simple whisper, sleight of hand, twisted evil play. Is it too much to believe? Some kind of dark fantasy. Can man's mind be so cruel? Are we all that hard to fool? Bloodlines of history, they sit at the top, counting all the gold they have robbed common men. They put their